Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on my channel. So today we are back building another house in The Sims 4, and today we're back with the interpretation challenge, which is a challenge between me and my friend Arthur from The Simified, which you guys have all heard of, and if you haven't then you're probably living under a rock or something, but I've done a collaboration with him before, and I also have done a previous interpretation challenge video with him, which was a couple of weeks ago now, and I'm sorry I haven't posted anything since then, but I have been very busy with work, and I am currently ill at the moment, so I also just want to put in a little disclaimer into this video that I'm sorry if I'm sniffing or just sound weird or whatever, but I have a cold, even though it's been really sunny in England and really nice warm weather the last couple of weeks, well, like the last week, but for some reason I have managed to catch a cold, which is super frustrating because it's just, you know, one of those annoying things. But anyway, we're here, we're back with another video. I'm super excited for this one. Today's challenge for me and Arthur was to build a cottage, which had a it had two requirements that we actually asked you guys to give us on Twitter via the poll system. So if you want to get involved with that for the next one, then you should definitely follow me and Arthur on Twitter. Our Twitter handles are @EndlessSims and @TheSimified. The links will be in the description. And we asked you guys which out of 4 options you would like to see the most, and you guys voted for a budget and for it to be pack specific. So we both picked, and we both decided what the budget would be and what packs we would use. So we decided packs wise, we thought Get Together was an essential one for building a cottage because it has all the Tudor style, which I think we both made quite good use of. I haven't actually seen Arthur's build yet, like usual, apart from one screenshot which I've got coming up for you guys to see in a minute. And we decided to use romantic garden stuff because we thought a cottage will probably have quite a lot of nice landscaping. So I know that I definitely made use of the pack. I don't know for Arthur. If you want to see his build, then you obviously can go check out his channel. The link will be in the description down below because you need to see his interpretation of this challenge as well. So we also had a budget, which was what you guys voted for as the other restraint on this build, but I think we both failed miserably. We decided that we were going to set the budget for 85,090 at a push, just like if you've got a few last things to throw in. But I think we both went over it. I think Arthur's is about 105, and how much is mine? I cannot remember, but mine's 100, I think, as well as, or something similar to that, or like 94, I think it was actually. So we both went over the budget, so sorry about that, but I mean, it was going to be pretty pricey at 85 anyway, so cheats will probably be required. It's quite a small build, but it has got 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms in it, so it's like you could probably get 4 Sims in here, to be honest, if you wanted to, but it would be quite cramped. The 2 bedrooms have both got like a double bed in them. One is against the wall, but it doesn't matter because in The Sims 4 they can slide over, so it's all good. And it is on a 20 by 20 lot, so it's really small, so you could definitely put this on a bigger lot and then extend it or whatever if you wanted to. So yeah, kind of an interesting shape, I guess, for this house. It was actually started off as just like a boxy L shape, as you saw at the beginning of the video, and then I kind of added just like different parts in, like this turret on the side here, which isn't very cottagey, I guess, but kind of has this fantasy vibe to it, and I loved how it turned out. And then I sort of stole this half roof thing, curved roof thing on the side here. Can't remember where I've seen that before, but I know that I've seen it around, like just on like Twitter and Tumblr and stuff, and I thought it was a really cool idea, and I decided to put the doorway in there to the house. So the front door, like a walk through, so you wouldn't get wet or anything if it rains, if we ever get seasons, but let's not go into that rant. So yeah, just, you know, I was excited to do another interpretation challenge with Arthur. The last one was really fun, and we're still having a good time with that at the moment. We're only on number 2, so really good fun. His is called Everdeen Cottage. You can see a picture of it right now. No, oh, it's a few seconds too early. There you go. Here is Everdeen Cottage. As you can see, his interpretation of this challenge was completely different to mine. Ours look really different. And I think this was a really good challenge for Arthur as well, because he really likes to do modern builds. So to do a cottage, I mean, you can get modern cottages, but if you think cottage, then most people's mind automatically go to something like this, I think. So I think this was definitely a big challenge for him, as I like doing builds like this, so this wasn't as much of a challenge for me. Probably doing something more modern or like futuristic would be more of a challenge for me, because although I do like that style, and I have done builds that are modern, I'm not as, I don't know, just the creativity for those builds doesn't come as easy to me, so I think I would struggle with that more. So we'll have to see what interpretation challenge number 3 will be. We haven't made up our minds yet, but I'm sure we will at some point. And like I said, follow us on Twitter for the updates, for what the restraints and stuff will be, to make it, you know, a challenge. But yeah, going into this house, I have decided to go with this Tudor stone and Tudor, like, paneling stuff. Of course, I had to make use of Get Together, because we did have limited packs to use, so I don't think either of us failed in that respect. I think we both managed to keep it to base game, Get Together, and Romantic Garden stuff. I'm hoping nothing slipped in by accident, because it is quite frustrating in The Sims 4 when you use the filter system, because if you clone anything with the eyedropper tool, then it does take your filters off, so it can get a little bit... like, if you haven't realised, you might have placed something, so hopefully that's fine. We're going in and getting a floor plan here. The upstairs was an absolute nightmare for the floor plan. I couldn't figure it out. You just saw me, like, messing around with a lot of walls and everything there, trying to sort it out, and now you can see me saving. And I haven't edited this video at all, so that every single save is in this video. But I don't think I left it at any point for too long, like I normally do when I'm building, so that's why I didn't edit it, because I thought it'd be fine. So I guess we'll see together. Or you won't see, because I'll probably pause the video and edit it out if it's really long, but I don't think there is any gaps in it. I'm hoping not. Such a professional. So yeah, going in and just placing some, like, placeholder furniture, and that's basically like when you just put in different things just so you can get an idea for where everything's going to go and how the fit is going to work. So as you can see, I'm up here again doing the floor plan, trying to figure things out, and this isn't the final floor plan, but it's close. The left side stays the same. Okay, I'm changing it at the moment, but it does go back. And then... oh no, let's see, I'm still messing around. I was trying to get 3 bedrooms in, but it was not going to happen in this smaller space, to be honest, so I don't even know why I bothered. There we go, here's the final floor plan. So you've got the master bedroom to the left there. Oh, okay, we're downstairs, but master bedroom to the left, and then a guest bedroom on the right, and then a bathroom at the back, which is shared, of course. And now I'm back outside doing some decorations and everything, and adding in, like, flower plots and stuff, and then I actually put the Romantic Garden flowers over the top, because I just liked the colour of those better, and I thought I should make the most of the packs that we had to use. Oh my god, I'm still out of breath. This is the problem when you have a cold. You can't talk for more than, like, 2 minutes without dying. So, excuse me. We're going in and adding a bunch of landscaping and everything, because I wanted to make this very, not super lush necessarily, but just very, like, nature-full, if you know what I mean. I'm not sure if that's the same thing as lush. I mean, it kind of is, but, like, I don't know, it's kind of different. You guys know what I mean? I think you probably do. So we're adding, like, a path, like a rock path here, just sort of sectioning off the flower beds to either side, and, like, making it, you know, nice and easy to see where to walk, basically. Here we're adding in a pond, which we delete because I hate it. So yeah, there's that. There's no pond in this build at all. There is a fountain at the back at the end, which you'll see. But I don't know, a pond, it didn't work. I was doing this part at, like, I don't know, midnight or something the other day, and I wasn't feeling it. I came back to it and I just thought, no, let's get rid of this, I hate it. So I don't think there was enough space for it to work, so as you can see, we just deleted the whole thing there. And then we go through and just add in a bunch of, like, this kind of spacious landscaping that I was talking about in my last build, which was also a different interpretation challenge. So if you want to see that, go check it out, it's on my channel. Which is kind of like, I've seen this around before, where you kind of cover everything in mud and, like, you know, yeah, mud, and then you kind of space the flowers out instead of cramping them all together, because sometimes I like to do very full flower beds, which I do a few little ones around the back, but at the front here I kept it very just like spread out, but it still looked full. I think it's a nice idea, and it doesn't take as much time as the other type of flower beds does, and it doesn't lag your game out as much, because depending on your computer, obviously, like, the more items you have on a lot, the heavier the save or load is going to be, and that kind of can get your gameplay to lag out a little bit. So keeping it a little bit more spacious just helps with all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think it's just, like, generally a good idea, to be honest, and it definitely wasn't my idea. Like I said, I've seen it around on, like, Tumblr and stuff, and obviously on the gallery and all that kind of thing. So yeah. And I'm very sorry if you can hear any background noise going on in the house, because my family is home today, it's the weekend, so if you can hear TVs or people talking, I apologise for that, but that is one of those things. I live with other people, so what are you going to do, you know? I'm going through and adding in more landscaping and making everything look very natureful and overgrown, and just using all that Romantic Garden stuff and a lot of get-together things, because they both come with some really beautiful outdoorsy stuff. Obviously Romantic Garden does, because it's in the title, but yeah. The kind of colour scheme that we went for was like a brown and a grey wood, and at first I was going to go for like a like a stone that you saw earlier on the house, but it didn't look right. It looked too medieval, and that wasn't the vibe I was going for. So yeah, we kind of went for those two colours, and it kind of worked. Usually I don't do two colours, like on the windows or whatever. If I'm going to have like a wood colour, I stick with like a white or just a brown or whatever it may be, but I kind of went for grey and brown today in this one, and I don't know, I like the way it turned out. It was different, so that was good. And I think it kind of added a sense of like the house had been added to over the years, like, you know, a window had fallen off because it was so old and they couldn't find one that matched exactly, so they just got it in a different colour and replaced it, or the guy who lives here or girl who lives here made their own one and added it in, that kind of thing, you know. You can see in the middle here and around the back there's a few grey windows, and then nearer the front there's more of those brown windows. So yeah, I just liked that kind of storyline that I made up in my head. So I think we're going to stay... I know we're going inside, okay. The video is going to cut in a second though, and then we're going to go outside again, because I did this interesting staircase detail just because the staircase had to go right next to the wall, and I wanted it to feel more separate, but because it was a small space inside, I wanted to keep it open at the same time to make it not feel too cramped but still separated. So I did this kind of column idea, and I like how that turned out actually. And then here is where I will cut the video, because I needed to get a sim inside to check to see if that staircase worked upstairs, because I was worried because there was only a very limited amount of space for your sims to walk around at the top, and I was kind of like, oh no, I haven't designed this whole house and the sims aren't going to be able to use it. So now you can see there is a male sim standing near the staircase, because I just went to grab him to check to see if that would work, but luckily, thank God, it worked fine, and he could never go around there really easy. I wouldn't recommend having too many sims in the hallway though, otherwise it might not work so well. But with one sim, it works absolutely fine. And like I said, this is a small build anyway, so you're probably not going to have too many sims in here. Probably 2 at the most, maybe 3, and then you're probably going to want to move to something a little bit bigger. Here I'm doing the kitchen, and I'm really, like, I know everybody just moans that we need more content, but we really just do need more content. Like, I'm even getting sick of all the kitchen stuff. I'm hoping and praying and hoping and praying that the Sims 4, what's it called? I was going to say Come Dine With Me, but that's a TV show in the UK, and it might be in the US as well. But the Sims 4 Dine Out stuff, or Game Pack, whatever it's called, I can't remember. Because that was leaked, I think, on Twitter this week. That, like, a retailer in the US leaked that it was called The Sims 4 Dine Out, but nothing has been confirmed by EA. But the new restaurant game pack, you guys all know what I'm talking about. I'm hoping that is going to come with some new kitchen cabinets. Obviously it's going to have like new dining tables and stuff because it's a restaurant game pack, so, but I'm hoping that's going to have some new like appliances, maybe some very industrial stuff, because, you know, like a restaurant kitchen is probably quite industrial, so, or some really fancy cabinets, or some really modern ones. I don't know, we just need a few more cabinet options, and more swatches. Like, it needs to have a lot of swatches, because I wanted a darker wood in this kitchen, but I couldn't find a cabinet that was traditional that had a really dark wood. That was as dark as I could get, and that was more of like a, not a light wood, but like in the medium, a medium in the middle wood, if you guys know what I mean. So yeah, I'm hoping we're gonna get a few more, like, and maybe just one new counter set. That would just be great, to be honest. So we're moving outside again here, and I wasn't sure what to do with the back garden, and I thought maybe a gardening patch would be a good idea to, like, you know, grow your herbs or your vegetables or whatever, because I don't know, it just suited this house really, and I quite like doing gardening in The Sims. It's quite fun to like be able to grow things, because I'm horrible at that kind of stuff in real life and everything would just die. So in The Sims I like to sort of kind of do that sometimes. And I'm just adding a little path from the back door here around through the little garden that we're going to have here in a second, and that links back through to the front door as well, because I tend to do that with a lot of my houses. I like having a path that sort of flows all the way around the build. I don't know, it just has that kind of, gives me that finished feeling to a house if I do that. So yeah, I was gonna throw in the, what is it called, that well from Romantic Garden Stuff, which if you don't have, by the way, you should get. You can go check out my video. I did a review on it when it came out, and it does have some good items in it. It doesn't look like, the trailer doesn't really sell it that way well, to be honest, but the well that it comes with, that wishing well, adds a lot of interesting gameplay to your game, to be honest. So I was going to throw that in, but it was really large, and on a 20 by 20 lot it just looked too big in my opinion, so I thought I think it would be better on a community lot, because then you could visit it instead of having it in your household, you know. So I decided to not do that in the end and just throw in some pretty stuff. So I threw in a few statues, and there is one of those get-together bushes, so if you want to be a hermit sim, you can come and sleep in that bush on this lot. And I think you can woohoo and use the loo in it as well, so it's a pretty helpful bush to have around the neighborhood. So I'm adding in like a little fountain area here, and I was going to do it as a sitting area originally, but I decided against that and put a fountain in instead, and I cover it around with rocks, and I put in that romantic garden fountain. And if you don't have romantic garden stuff, then a lot of these items can just be replaced. Like the statues aren't necessary, but if you want to replace them with base game statues, then you can. This fountain can just be replaced by one of the sprinkler fountains or the base game fountain. Like all that stuff, it's just all decorative pretty much. Like I said, I didn't use any of the gameplay items that came with Romantic Garden, which is a fountain and a well. I didn't use those, so it's really not necessary to have this pack. We just felt like it would be helpful because it would add that cottage vibe, and that is what we were going for, so that's why we chose it. So let me know in the comments as well if you guys would prefer for you to choose the packs that we use, if it is going to be a pack specific build, because it won't always be a pack specific build. It just happens that the last challenge was a base game only build, and that was the challenge basically, and then this time you guys voted that you wanted it to be pack specific. So, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it will always be pack specific, because we have a few ideas of like the different challenges we'd like to challenge each other to. So but yeah, let me know if you guys would rather vote on Twitter for the type of packs that you want us to use, or whether you would rather vote for what constraints that we use, or restraints, like as in this time round we said we gave you 4 options, whether you guys wanted it to be like a colour themed build, so you know, like it could something be like a whole green build and we'd have to make everything green or whatever, like that kind of challenge, or whether you wanted a budget or an expansion specific build, or I can't remember what the other one was, but that was kind of what we asked you guys for. A lot size I think was the other one, like if you wanted to see it on specific lot size, because I don't know, for example, you could have said that we were going to do a cottage build, but you guys could have voted for it to be on a 64x64 lot or something, and then we would have had to try and like fill up all that room, so that would have been quite difficult. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, whether you want to vote for like on Twitter for what the restraints should be, or whether we should come up with the restraints, like for example a budget and pack specific like this one, and then you guys vote for what the budget is and what packs you want to use or want us to use. Let me know. I think that'd be interesting to know, and comment on Arthur's video as well, so that we can get a really good idea of what everybody wants to see, because it is really fun, and it's a lot of fun when you have a challenge or like a story in mind or whatever it is. It's more fun to build sometimes. Sometimes it's good to go in and just let your creative juices flow, but sometimes it's good to go in and kind of be like, oh damn, I can't do that. I mean, for example, this time we both failed on the budget, so we'll have to watch out for that next time. But it is quite difficult sometimes when you're going in and you're just like really into it, and I got really into this build, and I think Arthur did too. He was really looking forward to building it, and I think we both just got carried away with the theme of cottage, and we forgot that there was a budget, because a lot of these traditional items are on the pricier side. Like that sofa that I used is definitely one of the most expensive sofas, but it's hard to keep an eye on it while you're going, because you kind of want to get it done at the same time, and then at the end, once it's finished, you realise, oh no, I've gone over the budget. So like I said, mine's about 95 I think, and Arthur's is like 105, so in terms of winning and losing, he definitely lost because his was the most expensive. But then at the same time, I think his was on a 30x40 lot, and his house is bigger than mine, so it should be more expensive. Mine's only a 20x20, and it's still like 90 something simoleons, 1,000 simoleons. So yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. But we had a really good time doing it, and I think we're looking forward to the next one as well, to be honest. And as you can see, I was just doing a little bit more playtesting there to make sure that the Sims could get through the front door. I didn't think there'd be any problems, but this sofa is pretty close to it, so I thought, oh, I better double check, because you don't really want to walk all the way around the other side of the house just to get into it. So, and for once I didn't use the spotlight ceiling lights, because I always use those, but they give off such a good lighting, because the lighting in The Sims 4 is so weird, as everybody knows. But I used these get-together ones because I thought they suited the cottage vibe much better, and it gave it a yellowy tinge, but that worked in my opinion with the cottage vibe that I was going for, so I didn't mind it as much. So yeah, if you want to download this house, then you can. It is on the Sims 4 gallery. It is called Acorn Hideaway, and if you want to download Arthur's, then you can. His is also on the Sims 4 gallery. It's called Everdeen Cottage, like I said earlier. I'll put the links in the description below, but you can use the hashtags Endless Sims and Simify to find them, and my gallery page is linked down below also, so it's super easy to find. And yeah, I think I'm going to end this video just here. And wait, before I go, I forgot to mention that I put a chicken in this build, like a little chicken like statue thing near the counter. It's either a chicken or a rooster, but that is for you, Arthur. You will understand that inside joke between the two of us. So yes, thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know what you guys think of this challenge that me and Arthur are doing. We're having a great time with it, and we hope you're. And yeah, so if you like this video, then please give it a massive thumbs up because I appreciate it. Leave me all your comments down below. Like I said, make sure to go check out Arthur's video. The link is in the description, like I've probably said about 100 times in this video. And yes, I think that is everything. So I'll see you all in the next video. And yeah, thanks for watching, and bye!